Well, hello everyone. Welcome to this week's library meeting. So, I don't know if I want to keep that name, but need to do something. Apparently, the algorithms hate news. So, unless I'm CNN or Fox or MSNBC or something, news gets downranked, if that's what you call it. Always fighting those pesky algorithms. So this weekend we were at the Geek Extravaganza up in Everett. It was a little one-day thing. It's a little quarterly event, and kind of fun. You get to meet some people. There's artists and people come sell all kinds of stuff. Well, Vernon Wells, a friend of the library. So if you go to their website, it's their club in Kirkland. So if you're up in that area and you're looking for a geeky organization to be part of, awesome thing. Well, They're upgrading their 3D printer, and they donated us their old one, so we can. This is an Ender 3 with like everything's. I think the only thing original is the frame, but I'm put it under the camera just to be silly. So we will. This allows us to be able to start making just little tchotchkes that we need for the library. So like little clips and stuff like that. Just off to my left, I'm building out an area for this 3D printer, and we've got two Elegoo Mars that I've got to clean up my area so that I can get those running and making minis for events that we can do more paint and takes. Ooh, it has been a busy period of time, but I'm going to move this out of the way so that we can see what else is going on in our awesome world. Let me pull up the chat, make sure I can talk to anybody. So let's move these books out of the way. Then I'll move this out of the way. Oh, it's a lot heavier one-handed. And then we've got a bunch of books. I have a crazy little kitty. What are you doing? What are you doing? Nope, don't attack cables. Cables aren't toys. Oh, come here. Come here. Come say hi to everybody. Say hi. It's Minerva. Mischievous little Minerva. Ah. Ow. Okay. Well, now you're just keeping back paws on me for no reason, huh? Are you? No clue what you're doing back there, little one. You're just hanging out back there. It's my back you're digging into. Urgh. What's going on? So, well, she's got to go see the vet soon, get fixed, because we don't want kittens. Well, I'll be honest, I do want kittens, but I can't afford kittens. Okay, please don't play with anything over there. Or just, be a cat and don't listen to me. So, some things that we got for the library this weekend. We finally got a copy of The World's Largest Dungeon. I don't know if you know what The World's Largest Dungeon is, but this has no maps in it. This is literally just a room-by-room description of a massive dungeon. It's so huge. So, room B10, Bugbear Refuge. B9, Direwolf Den. B11, Cold Iron. And then there's traps and everything that'll be summoned in there. And the cool thing is, it really allows you, even though it was for D20, and we talked to the designer. What are you doing? Hang on. What did you get into? Oh. I have a kitten that wants to play in the room that's really not designed to play with kittens. Okay, anyways. This is a massive dungeon. We got to talk to the game designer a while back. I think this was only like $60 or $70 when it first came out. But I mean, it came out a number of years ago. Early 2000s, if I recall. And let's see if there's a date in here somewhere. Of course not. I know this is interesting television to watch. Let's see. 2004. And this is, early OGL and also under the D20 license, because they're not the same, contrary to popular belief. So this is just a massive, it describes a dungeon as you go. So this is level H, level I. And then it also came, these are still sealed, map set, 16 pieces, not for individual resale. Part 2 of 2. I think we need to get part 1. So maybe. I don't, well, the book might have been part 1, this is part 2. I don't remember. But I'm probably going to pop this open soon and check it out, because it is funny that, you know what, we're going to pop it open. There's going to be somebody like, no! But apparently, this is available in PDF. Don't worry, I'll open it. I'll save this original sticker so we can do something cool with it when we take it to events. Here. There we go. Oh, that is. That's A, B. That is awesome. This map is, these maps are, and this is all the different, so that B10, there's the direwolves den, there's the bugbear den that we were just reading about, and then it gives you the letters that line up to the other maps. C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O. Oh wow, this is more N. This is N. Wow, N is so big it gets 2. O. So, looks like it goes all the way to O, which is still massive. That's a lot of maps. So, yeah, here's O. So, crevice. Huge cave. I really want to, especially if I can get all these maps in PDF, want to do this as something on screen or on stream. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Okay, let's see, what do we got next? Well, let's straighten that out. So we finally got a box set of the TSR base Indiana Jones game for 2 or more players, age 10 and up. So it's all been cut out already. Got the Kali Ma statue. Kali Ma. How to play the game. Let's see, evidence file. So this was not a well-made game. This was TSR going, oh, we need to do something cool. D&D's hot. Let's expand. I do have to say I kind of like their GM screen, even though it's 3 very different locations, but it does fairly well represent what we saw in the movies. Scatter. And then you could be a member of the Role Playing Game Association Network. So we are super excited to get this, just because I do want to play it. It is a bad game, but we will end up playing it at events. From the producers of Dungeons and Dragons. But we also got Raiders of the Lost Ark Adventure Pack. From the Files of Indiana Jones, the Fourth Nail Adventure Pack. Judge's Survival Pack. Hey, still got Marion. Accessory Pack by Harold Johnson. Adventure Fold-Out Figures by D&M Koth. So, bunch of Indiana Jones stuff. So there are more modules than just this. but they're going to be further down the road. So here's some modules for a game that we don't have. So these are modules for Man, Myth, and Magic. And these came out in, well, these are 82. So Man, Myth, and Magic, I think, was released in 81. So hopefully we can find a copy. It's summer, 41 AD. This is definitely, Bronze Age-ish. Then we got a bunch of FOSSA Star Trek. So we've got the FOSSA Star Trek core game. I've got a couple modules, but this gives us the Romulan modules, the Klingons, Starship Construction Manual, so we can make our own starships, and the Orions, the Book of Deep Knowledge. So if you see this, so you'll see one says Book of Deep Knowledge, and this one's Source Book and Character Generation Supplement. So if I recall, every faction, race, or whatever in Star Trek, you would have your core book, and then you would have your Book of Deep Knowledge. This was for the players, and this was for the game master. So I think this one even says when you open it up, intended for Game Master's eyes only. The Book of Deep Knowledge contains the character generation system and rules for experience and acquiring skills for Orion characters. In addition, it provides more specific, different information than that is provided in the Book of Common Knowledge about Orion life and motives. So at least the Orions had the common knowledge and deep knowledge, and I believe later on the Romulans and Klingons also got books of deep knowledge. So these are what you needed to play Klingons or Romulans out of the original series stuff. So with this, we could play old FOSSA Star Trek with Romulans, the Triangle. And then everybody could go. Let's see, and then introduction to warship design, and it's so funny because if you're a big Star Trek fan, you'll know that people are like, oh, the Starfleet doesn't have warships, and it's like, well, they have through history, and if you look like post the original series and then before the movies, they're kind of in a time of war. And this is really cool because this is, again, there's some cool stuff for making ships in here. A lot of cool information, a lot of really super nerdy things to nerd out on. So, and I'll have to dig out the box set of Star Trek and see if we can get some people to play here on stream. Maybe we'll bust out and we'll make some ships or something. And then the last thing we got that was donated to us is the Jim Henson's Labyrinth adventure game. So, didn't know this existed. Kind of awesome. So it's a small book. We were surprised when we saw the price. It's $45. We're like, oh, that's crazy. But then we open it up, and you see there's a hole in the page. There are dice in the book. Like, what book does this? In having worked with people making books, talked to printers and everything over the years, this is an expensive thing to do. This drastically increases the price. And I've got the hiccups all of a sudden. Hang on, I'm going to get a drink of water. Maybe I can make the hiccups go away. There. Caffeinated water. So, I am very intrigued to see how this plays out. Need to find some people that want to learn how to run this, because I still love the Labyrinth, and I hope that younger generations have grown up to love the Labyrinth as well. And I hope that we can sit down with some people and let them experience the labyrinth in the mind's eye instead of just in person or just on screen. Let's see. Okay, let us transition over to talking about news and stuff. And if you have any questions, feel free to light me up in the chat. I am watching the chat, so I lost my mouse. There we go. So I am paying attention to what's going on. Okay. Oh, where did I set something on top of my mouse pad. Okay. So, looking at different stuff from news. Let me see. Did I miss anything? I don't think anybody dropped anything new into our news. Or did they? Oh, yeah. This is... Actually, yeah, I'm going to talk about this first. So, the nerdiest record ever. Utah Dungeons & Dragons game breaks the world record. So, in Provo, Utah, these people got together and they wanted to break 1,000 people. The previous record was only 500. And so they got a bunch of people together, got a bunch of tables together, and it was a free event. They ended up with 1227 and set a new record. So I'm contemplating seeing if we could do something with PAX Unplugged to do something with PAX Unplugged to set a world record for a new world record of how many people playing in one game. I have done massive games before. 1227 is ginormous. People like, the biggest I've done was 64 players, and then we had 7 GMs. So it is a doable thing. I understand some of the logistics of making it happen, but I think this could be fun and kind of crazy. So it is something I'm going to reach out to the people at PAX Unplugged to see if we can, break the record. It is kind of awesome. Take this away from Provo. Let the library own it. And then, let's see. Okay, so we'll go over to some Paizo news. Organized the Year of Redemption Rise is coming to an end with the final adventure of Pathfinder Society number 5 through number 5-16 to catch a king. The time has come to join Radazan in his quest for redemption. Infiltrate. Jeez, I'm learning to read again. Infiltrate a group. Where'd it go? Infiltrate a group of Starfinder imposters and reveal them to the media to sway the public opinion about the Starfinder Society. So, if you're into Starfinder, there looks like they're wrapping up the Redemption's Rise, and then the Pathfinder Series 2 quest number 14, the Sword Lord's Challenge. An old friend of the Society has challenged Macros to 3 contests of wit, skill, and battle prowess. And it's up to you to beat her best students. So, Kobold Press moving sale. The Kobold Press goblins have been sharing space with Paizo goblins for years. Paizo has a fairly sizable area, and Kobold Press is kind of like a lot of other small to mid-sized companies kind of have an office, and they don't necessarily have their own storage space or anything. Sometimes they use other companies. Well, they've been sharing space with in the Paizo warehouse, but Cobalt has blown up the last few years. So, see, but now it's time come for them to move their war into another warehouse. Because kobolds are on the small side, they're looking to unload some loot before they move. Until midnight, midnight Pacific time, June 30th, 2023, they're offering 60% off Select 5e and 80% off Select Kobold Quarterly, 13th Age, and 4e titles. Help Kobold out and build your collection at the same time. So, I think that's kind of awesome, and it's hats off to them. They've grown to where they need a new facility. They've outgrown their space at Paizo. So if you play Warhammer, what's it called, Age of Sigmar, this is by Cubicle 7, and their new, Cobalt or Warhammer Age of Sigmar role-playing Soulbound. This is the Champions of Destruction book, so it's their new book that is coming out, and it brings orcs, goblins, hobgoblins, ogres, trolls into playable characters and factions of the game, or more specifically, Urks, Grats, Hobgrats, Ogres, and Tragas as their newer, more trademark-friendly names. Yes, because Games Workshop changed all the names of their stuff a number of years ago so that they could trademark them, because they couldn't trademark orcs and trolls. They couldn't trademark Eldar, so they're Eldrathi. But if you play that world, this is actually going to be a really cool book, because this will allow you to play as ogres, trolls, orcs, and all the other, a bunch of other fun, chaosish. Because they're not chaos, but they're not necessarily the good guys either. And I think it could be a lot of fun. I kind of want to pick this up because I now want to play, because I like the orcs, and I love the ogres before they moved into Age of Sigmar. A lot of people are very excited about this. I am, but for different reasons than most people. So, Critical Role's Darrington Press to release Daggerheart, a new TTRPG system. So, I don't believe it's going to be a drastic change from 5e. I think it's going to be 5e that is very live play friendly, so that it'll be a set of rules that it works for what Critical Role does. Their live play, not LARPing, but I think they'll probably streamline initiative and combat. So things that end up eating up a ton of time in a standard game, which when we're not being recorded is fine, but it's tough to keep the energy flowing if combat is 3/4 of your show. And that's just a small combat. It can be 3/4 of the show. So there's some people going, oh, this is going to be, this is going to be the next Paizo. It's going to be big. A lot of people are going to buy it, so they're going to have a lot of their fans buy it. But I don't know if it'll do like Paizo did. Partly because 5e's still around. Paizo made Pathfinder just as Wizards was making 4th edition D&D, and everything was just perfect for them to, capitalize on all the people that didn't want to leave D&D 3.5, didn't want to play 4th edition, didn't like how 4th edition was, and they kind of came out of it, just hit everything kind of perfect. I think that the sales are going to be great for this because they have such a large audience, but I don't think it's going to catch on play-wise the same way Paizo did with Pathfinder. So anybody that's telling you that this is going to be the next Pathfinder, I think they're, optimistic, but I don't think it's true. But I do believe 100% it's going to sell well. Let's see. A couple pages got out of order. Let's see. So our friends down at Warehouse 23, which is Steve Jackson's games, they lost a member of their team, and I've met him a couple times. So Eric Dow, he did a ton of stuff with their events and facilities, and like he was kind of the glue that held a bunch of different stuff together for Steve Jackson games, kind of behind the scenes within their within their shop. Sadly, he passed from cancer, and he was only 54 years old. He was only a couple years older than me. He was kind of, in the. It just makes you realize how little time we can have, and you don't know, when you're gonna go. So, go out and enjoy yourself, and get as many games in as possible. Put a stamp on this earth, so that all your friends can remember you. So I was like this. So he was also a skilled driver, rallier, motorsport fan, and mechanic, and nobody who saw it will ever forget him doing fast donuts in his brand new Tesla at Wonko's in the Wonko's parking lot. So he was having fun, and sadly taken too soon. Many of you will have no idea who he is, again, unless you've interacted with Steve Jackson games at an event where he was there, or been down to their offices. And last time I was down to their offices was so long ago, but very sad to see him go. So this week we should be seeing Twilight Imperium: Embers of the Empire, Embers of the Imperium launch. So super. I'm really intrigued by this because I've always liked the RPG, but I've always liked the board game, but I've also always hated the board game because it's a board game. Like, it sucks to, you're 8.5 hours in and you're not done, and you're like, oh, I just want to end it now. Just gotta flip the table, because it's such a fun game, but it does take forever. Let's see. There's 15 unique species and 9 unique careers before moving into new skills and talents. So this is going to be based on Edge Studios' Genesis system. If you don't know, Edge Studios is after Fantasy Flight was bought by Asmodee, then Asmodee was bought by that Swedish game company. They own like THQ, Icelandic, and Dark Horse, and a bunch of other stuff. So after all that was settled, Fantasy Flight still around, but they are focusing on board games and stuff like that. And then all of the RPG stuff was spun off into the Edge Studio. So, and now they do their Genesis. They have their Genesis system, and this is going to be their new IP going forward. And I think it's going to be really cool because a lot of us have played and we've read the little bits and pieces about the Twilight Imperium world, and this is going to just be a boatload of fun. So I'm going to see if I can get my hands on a copy. The Evil Hat has a bunch of new releases recently. So Apocalypse Keys, a bunch. They've got Dice and Blades in the Dark deck, and a new update for Monster of the Week. Fate of Cthulhu, Advanced Lovers and Lesbians. I really do like the cover because it's an homage to. It just makes me giggle because it is an homage to the AD&D First Edition. And then the Improv for Gamers Second Edition, that was on GameFound and closed out recently. So I just want to look at the cover. Oh, I want it better. There we go. That's such a hilarious homage to the First Edition AD&D book. I like it when people get clever like that. Pinnacle. So Pinnacle makes some of my favorite stuff. They are the company that originally did Deadlands. Deadlands is now under their Savage Worlds. Savage Worlds came out of the Deadlands game, and this was just a few days ago, and said we were hacked, but aced our opposed role. So some of you may have seen our website was hacked. In technical terms, the exploit corrupted a cache version of our site, displaying links to an overseas e-commerce site for a few hours to some people. Once we spotted it, our web team got to work, isolated the issue, restored everything. Most important thing you need to know is that we have found no evidence that customer information was breached and no credit information is stored on the site. And that is a huge thing. So if you had an order interrupted during this whole mess and you didn't get a virtual tabletop product key emailed or PDF download permission, email them at info@peginc.com and they'll take care of it. So it's nice to see that some even smaller companies can be on top of their stuff, because I've seen smaller companies, and I'll be honest, if we got hit, I mean, we keep no information on our website, but if we got hit, I would have to wait before somebody to tell me, because I don't go to our library site enough. That's going to be changing. I'm going to try to get some interactive stuff going up on our website. So, let's see. Green Ronin to release Valiant Adventures RPG. As of today, it's Seattle and New York. Green Ronin Publishing announced that it has signed a licensing agreement with DMG Entertainment and Valiant Entertainment and will be publishing Valiant Adventures role-playing game in 2024. The game is based on Green Ronin's popular and award-winning Mutants and Masterminds RPG. And I really do enjoy Mutants and Masterminds. I think it's a solid RPG. And I do give people if they're interested in superhero games, it's a good system to try. See, we've designed RPG material that's appeared in Valiant comics before, so making a full role-playing game is the natural next step. So they've done some free RPG Day stuff they've done some Valiant stuff, but they've not done a full Valiant product. So, Green Ronin President Chris President Chris Pramis, we're excited to bring the characters and settings of the Valiant universe into Mutants and Masterminds family. And the cool thing is, if you got all the DC stuff, that allows you to do a Valiant DC crossover. We're thrilled with the opportunity to team up with Green Ronin and bring our unique and exciting characters to life in the Valiant Adventures role-playing game using the versatile Mutants and Masterminds RPG format. Valiant fans are some of the most engaged fan base around the world. No, I'm not answering that phone call. Thank you. Please don't call me while I'm doing this. Not that you can hear me, but this I think is super awesome. I'm excited to see a full-on Valiant, because we've seen DC stuff over the years, we've seen Marvel stuff over the years, we've seen a lot of independent stuff where it's somebody creating their own superhero-based things, which is awesome. But there's some really cool stuff in Valiant. If you're a fan, should be excited. If you don't know what Valiant is, then let's go look up some Valiant comics. They did the Bloodspot movie recently. I didn't see it. Let's see. Well, I was hoping there was a... See, here we go. Let's see if this will... See, they've got a rather decent size list. Exo Man of War. I haven't read comics in a while, so... And there's going to be some really cool stuff. Valiant has done some really neat things over the years, and I think we'll see some really fun things out of this game. Super excited now. Let's see. the Evil Genius Games has a prologue to the Escape from New York. So Escape from New York is their next release, I believe. So, and you need the Everyday Hero core rulebook, and you should be able to find it here on the website. But this is the prologue, so this will get you kind of into the start of the Escape from New York in 1988. The crime rate in the United States rose to more than 400%. New York City is the site of a massive nerve gas attack by the Soviet Union. Is transformed into a maximum security prison, covering all the incarceration requirements of the United States, sealed off from the world by a 50-foot containment wall. It has a society all in of itself. Once you go in, you never come back. The camera's right in front of like the corner of my screen. So I'm excited about it. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And you can get the Everyday Hero book for PDF is $30. Hardcover standard color is $50. And then both is $53.87. So. And then what else do they have? Pacific Rim is already out. Kong Skull Island is out. The Crow's out. Oh, and it looks like Escape from New York is out. So in PDF form, it's only $20. Soft cover is $30. Soft cover standard color is $25, and then you can get both for between $30 and $35. The soft cover book and PDF. What's the Evil Genius bundle? That gets you, the Evil Genius bundle is $54.99. It gets you the core rulebook, the Crow, Escape from New York, GM screen tables, and character sheets. So it is a decent little discount for, and that's all in PDF. Okay. And then Dragonbane, the quick start. So the Free League did their Kickstarter, did really well, and so this is D&D didn't make it to Sweden in the early '80s, and some Swedish people had seen D&D, so when they went back home, they made their own game, Drakar och Demonar, which I don't know the exact translation, and I'm probably butchered it. I've actually been trying to get my hands on a copy of the old stuff because I think it'd be awesome for the library. But in English, it is called Dragonbane. So, classic fantasy tabletop RPG full of magic, mystery, and adventure. It's designed from the ground up to facilitate fast and furious play. So, super excited, and this will be releasing as a full, so this is kind of the, wet your beak. So yeah, let's get into some, what are they called? Kickstarters. So this is a strange thing to me. This one is, and they're doing gangbusters. I don't get it. So it is a thick notebook. For a character sheet and a notepad and a tiny little dice area, and then it has dials. So I mean, it's like all this is on the paper. Yeah, some of this stuff is, there's temporary stuff, but it's massive. This thing is huge. Like, I just don't get it. I mean, if people, I hope somebody can tell me why this thing is, because this thing is ginormous. I don't get it. It's crazy thick. And look how thick that is. And they're like, oh, you got acrylic over your sheet. I'm like, so I need to dry erase to write on it. Okay, that's kind of cool, but you know, it's very D&D centric. It's a well built Kickstarter, but again, I just don't get the product. It doesn't make sense to me. And maybe it's just me. Hopefully somebody out there can explain it. Let's see, Heavy Gear. So this is from DreamPod 9. Yeah. DreamPod 9 has been making games for, I think they started right at the collapse back in the late 90s, if I recall correctly. Oh, founded in 1995. So but they also started with, they had a role-playing game and a tabletop miniature game. So they kind of survived because they were doing not just RPGs. So they kind of lucked out. So $30, you get the basic ebook reward, digital rewards only. So you get Heavy Gear's a cool game, fun system, and this is their 4th edition of it. $60, you get the basic ebook plus adventures reward level, all digital. So there's a lot of stuff in there for the digital stuff. 120 softcover book plus basic ebook. Whew, that's expensive. 140 is the hardcover plus basic ebook. 150 is the softcover plus basic ebook. Why are these ones? Oh, plus adventures reward. Okay, so this is this level, but with the softcover book. I was like, wait. 170 is all of this in a hardcover book. 230, softcover plus hardcover plus the ebook reward. 260 is softcover hardbook and all the adventures. It's kind of steep, but it is Canadian, so 230 Canadian is $170 American, so not nearly as bad as it looks. $230 Canadian is approximately 166.67. But DreamPod 9 has been really cool games over the years. I apologize for yawning. Jeez, it was a long day. And I mean the highest tier is $188, $192 is what it says via Kickstarter, which is more up to date. But DreamPod 9's been making some really cool stuff over the years. Heavy Gear is actually super cool. We've got some older Heavy Gear stuff. They made Jupiter 9. I made all kinds of stuff. And they've been doing Kickstarters for a little while. So if you're into mech-based RPGs, Heavy Gear is definitely your friend. Let's see. The Vineyard RPG. So they're looking for 50,000. We got 7 days to go. So, queer undead crime mob campaign setting and guidebook for 5e and Kobold Press's core fantasy role-playing Project Black Flag. So it's kind of cool. They're jumping into using the Project Black Flag. So they've backed 9, and this is their first created. And I think it's kind of cool. They're one of the first ones I've seen as a Black Flag partner, which is kind of cool. So, welcome to Vineyard. Sign your soul away here. Now, what would you like? The Vineyard RPG. 9 compelling undead villains with a 5+ page biography, layers, unique mechanics, scenarios, and plot hooks. Dialogue. Play with a living secret. A whisper-born lineage. Well, that's kind of cool. Wasting sickness mechanics. That's kind of cool. Contract Boon and Bane mechanics. Always love stuff like Boon and Bane. Let's see. So $40 gets you the digital contract in PDF. $50 gets you Who needs PDFs or books? Just get the Roll20 or Foundry Virtual Tabletop module for $50. 65 gets you the hardcover book. 80 gets you the PDF and the either one of the virtual tabletop modules. Let's see, $80. PDF, the hardcover, and the Vineyard Academy RPG module for free. So $80 gets you the PDF and the hardcover plus their Alchemy RPG module for free. That's kind of cool. Sell Your Soul for $100. You get the PDF, the hardcover, the Alchemy RPG module, and the virtual tabletop module, and the retailer. So kind of cool. And I thought it was really neat, being that it was one of the first things I've seen as a Black Flag partner. You do got a bit of a way to go in a week, so good luck, guys. Let's see, Windsea, Root and Storm. So I could have swore. So this is an expansion for another game, and I could have swore we have a copy of Windsea, but this is their first created. That was not on purpose. And Windsea is a tabletop role playing for 2 to 6 players inspired by stories like Sunless Sea, Bastion, and Baslag Trilogy. Set in the world overrun by greenery, Wildsea uses a narrative fiction-first D6 dice pool system that draws inspiration from games like Belly the Beast, Blades in the Dark, and 13th Age. So the campaign's goal is to raise funds to print and produce the first expansion for Windsea RPG, Root and Storm. So, I know I've seen Windsea, and I like seeing it when game designers have gotten enough traction to be able to do an expansion. So, and I really dig this art. It's pretty neat. So, $15 gets you the PDF. And then the other $15 gets you the PDF and digital stretch goals. Interesting. Let's see. Horizon Near gets you the PDF and the core rulebook in PDF. 36 gets you same thing. See, $39 gets you the PDF and a physical book. $49 gets you. There's a lot of. I'm really confused because it looks like there's a lot of repeats. So the Arborist, it's $64, gets you the Windsong or the Storm and Root PDF and the physical book plus digital and physical stretch goals. $80 gets you the collector's set, which gets you same thing. I'm really confused. They have a lot of like weirdly duplicated things at different rates. I'm super confused. I don't know why, but they were looking for 40 grand. They got 16 days ago. They're over 70, and so hopefully this is a lot of people that have played Wildsea. Actually, to be honest, I kind of hope it's a bunch of people that haven't that are picking up the core book as well. Blood and Doom. I just like the name. They're at 100 grand. They were looking for 38,000, or they were looking for 35,000 euros. They're at 91,489 euros, over $100,000. They're out of the Netherlands. They've backed a ton. This is their first thing. So, Doom and Blood. Doom and Blood is an immersive fantasy RPG unlike any you've seen before, set in a captivating and wondrous world known as Altari. Getting ready to discover a realm shrouded in mystery and legend. The game will take you on a journey from the misty jungles of Ishta to the arid deserts of Ethnia and beyond, where ancient ruins and forgotten tombs hide dark secrets of the past. From out of the secluded corners of towering cities and subterranean complexes, 12 vile cults are corrupting the land, sea, and sky. Their unhallowed chants and perverted rituals call to the unfathomable extra-dimensional beings known as the Heralds of Doom. As their disciples gather in the dark to perform obscene rituals, they will bring death and destruction to the world. A lot of great art. Let's see. Player-facing rules that keep players engaged even when it's not their turn. Easy to run for Doomslayers, with minimal effort required to start running a game. A D10 dice pool system using momentum to express degrees of success. Setbacks that represent horrible failure with grave consequences. Blood points fuel both martial prowess and magic in a unified system for all classes. Doom points can help you in a tough spot, but spending them comes at a heavy cost. No hit points. Track your wounds, injuries, and madness and trauma instead. No set initiative order. Let the story at the table guide the action naturally. That can always be fuzzy, because you'll get somebody like me that goes, oh, hey, what about this? What about this? What about this? And, might kind of bogart a situation. See, 9 classes and 18 unique archetypes. Special character sheets for each of the 18. Oh, geez. Streamlined character creation with 5 culturally rich origins to choose from. Let's see. $22 gets you Initiate A, the core rulebook in PDF, Lost City of Taoishi in PDF, character sheet, poster map, Doomslayer screen, and all unlocked digital stretch goals. And the unlocked digital soundtrack. All that for $22. $50 gets you the core rulebook in PDF, Doomslayer's Guide to Doomslayer's Codex, the 12 Pillars of Doom, Lost City, the character sheets, the poster map, and everything else, all in PDF. Let's see, $61 gets you the core rulebook in hardcover and in PDF, and then all the other cool stuff in PDF. $83 gets you the core rulebook in hardcover and a ton of other stuff in PDF, and a print of the poster map. $149. Deluxe 3-book slipcase hardcover. Core rulebook in PDF, all the rest of the stuff in PDF, and again the poster in print. The $209 level High Priest B. The Deluxe 3-book slipcase hardcover. Then a ton of other stuff in PDF. Conditions and Affliction card set in print. Weapon Attributes card set in print. Magic item and healing and poison card set. They've got 161 backers at that level. Nice. I got the $270 level. The 3-color books slipcase hardcover. Let's see, what else? Tons and tons of PDFs. The Doomslayer screen and hardcover. Blood and Doom dice set. Conditions and Affliction cards. A miniature set of 9 characters. Oh, geez, and there's another. Geez. The next one is $319. Gets you more books and more minis. And then it's neat. You get if you do a group, so $385, you get the High Priest B, which is the the book set and a ton of other stuff and all the cards. Then you get 4 of a lesser level for the players. That's kind of cool. What's in the books? Core rulebook, traits, powers, magic, wounds, injuries, wounds, and madness. I always look at it like how threatening does the character sheet look? It looks looks well put together, but it also looks like, oh man, the learning curve could be high on this. Mystic, Soothsayer, Warden, Vanguard, a Ninja, Viper, Shadowcaster, Illusionist. Ooh, there's got a stretch goal for another class. But some really good art. Looks like it's going to be. Looks like it's well put together. Need to reach out to him and see if we can chat. Space FTR Solo Roll and Write RPG in which a space fighter battles biohazardous enemies during an apocalyptic invasion. So, little solo one-player RPG. They can be a lot of fun. I like having stuff like this, so we can print them out and let people play them. So $4 gets you the PDF. $6 gets you that and the skull stretchers. So they're other little one-player RPG, and those are your options. Let's see, Bridgetown, funded in one day. Liminal, Pastoral, Troika. Let's see. What is this? Bridgetown is a pastoral liminal RPG set in a never-ending, ever-crumbling bridge. It's built for Troika, rules freely available. However, the content is easily adapted to your favorite old-school system. The Kickstarter will fund a print run of the hardcover book, folded A3 poster maps, handcrafted dice, and luxurious balm. No, seriously. Featuring backgrounds, a new spellcasting system, dozens of stew recipes, and a way to connect your Troika worlds together, we're confident Bridgetown can find a home at almost any gaming table. Let's see, where are they out of? Charleston, South Carolina. Why are you talking about A3 and A5? Huddle of Coblins, Stone Keening, Troll, Gruff Folk. Looks adorable. I dig it. $15 gets you the PDF and HTML editions. $30 gets you the hardcover and poster, plus the PDF and HTML. See, that's the way you should do it. $50, twice the Troika. You get the PDF and the hardcover, and then the Bones Deep hardcover. I don't know what the Bones Deep is. I don't know what Bones Deep is. There must be one of their other games. Let's see. Goat. Receive 2 cobblestone dice. There's their dice. They do look like cement encased in resin. See, 2d6 and a tin of Bridgetown skin and beard balm. That's hilarious. That's the $75 level. The $100 level is the Underwater Goat. You get the Bridgetown PDF and HTML, the hardcover, the Bones Deep hardcover, and 2d6. So this is what you get for the $100. Oh, all gone. Oh no. Oh, so that kind of sucks because it's the only way to get everything plus the Bones Deep hardcover. But maybe it's an add-on you can get. So that's kind of cool. I think it's neat they limited those bigger ones because they might be because the lip or the balm and the dice are not cheap, but they're doing well. So, Vault of mini things. Not many things. Anything new from Slugfest? I did not look up Slugfest games. So this is... let's look up Slugfest. So, my frustration with BackerKit is sometimes the things that are launching on BackerKit when you click on it, when you click through to them, you then find out, oh, this is launching in 2 weeks. Let's see, Slugfest games. What do we have for Slugfest games? Makers of Red Dragon Inn. I love Red Dragon Inn. Let's see. Well, they've got their Red Dragon Inn, the Undercity 9. Geez, I remember when Red Dragon Inn first popped up. Oh, so it's closed. It ended just the other day. Now you can pre-order. So let's see. What do we got in news? Doesn't look like they're doing anything RPG related. Let's see. The AR Vault Story Dice. So 9 days left. They got 2,600 backers, 180, almost $190,000 in backers. Explore RPG collectibles. So the core story, the story dice core box is $79, compatible with 5e and other systems. Let's see, adventure set is 7 dice. The dice are really nice looking. They're really cool looking dice. There's your activity dice. Dice to determine your downtime in ways you never imagined. They are really, really stunning dice. Behavior. Dice to determine NPC behavior. That's kind of cool. Emotions. Dice to determine NPC emotions. Perception. Dice to determine what player characters perceive at that moment. Weather dice. Reaction dice for your NPCs. Changes. Dice to determine the development of the scene. And the Koi die has a higher probability of rolling high results. A good way to reward players for good role play. Oh, so the dice, so like the D4 has a 2, 3, 4, 4. That's kind of cool. So they're not weighted wrong. They just have duplicate numbers on them. The Terror dice are the opposite. Oh, that's super cool. I like that. Let's see. What are the different reward levels? So $79 contains 21 immersive high-quality RPG resin dice manufactured by Awaken Realms. Thank you very much for the sub there to Pulsar. Hope you had fun this weekend. You can get just different sets. So the pretty sets, and then get them in different colors. But these are super cool. It's really nifty dice. Space Cat. I want to see the Space Cat dice. That is super awesome looking. There's his head. There's his back paws, his front paws. But let's see, what does the AR dice do? AR board game dice bundle. 10 high quality resin dice, 10 cards. Oh, you get the Space Cat, you get the Intruder Noise, Tainted Grail, the ISS Vanguard expansion. Some really cool looking dice, though. Some beautiful sculpts. But these could be really, really fun to tinker with. I really do like these weighted sets. Hope you like the dumpster fire sticker. Let's see. Let's get into what some. So here on Humble Bundle, so in their book section, these are handbooks to survival guide books. So I only bring this up because it's $18 for 41 items, but it is all kinds of. If you want to play. If you want to add some realism into some of your games, especially if you're playing post-apocalyptic games or you're playing if you're playing games where they're going to be out in the wilderness trying to live off of the land, this is some great stuff to kind of, so you know what you can kind of throw at them. Exactly, research material, and Maybe when the solar flare comes and knocks out all our computers, this will be good stuff to have. But it'll all be on your computer, so. Actually have this in physical form, but been in the military, so. But there's so many really fun things that you could glean off of these to make better gaming situations, especially if you're doing a post-apocalyptic game setting. This is a ton of great stuff. Really, this can make like Alice is Missing or the Scouts Guide to the Apocalypse. Oh, what is that? I'll even Gamma World or Twilight 2000 or 3000. Any of those. This can make you a better GM playing any of those games, and can be some fun stuff like home distilling. You want to make your own mead. Then we have 2 more days on the 13th Age RPG Mega Bundle. $18 for 28 books. Absolutely worth it. This is a great system. I can't speak highly enough about it. One of the things you get is a Peregrine Press voucher. So this gives you, I forget what it gives you. It gives you 25% off your next print purchase at Peregrine Press. So if you buy a book from, you get 25% off. Yes, that's why I was joking. The 13th, the flare would, you buy all those books and to help you with when the solar flare comes, but the solar flare would knock out your PDFs. So, yeah, love 13th Age. It is super awesome. And let's go over to our bundle of holding. Love this site. So, Mörk Borg has 37 minutes. I've talked about this one a ton. So it starts off $15. You get several books, and if you go up to $30.29, you get a ton more books, all from Mörk Borg, all based in the Mörk Borg rules, and you can play as puppy dogs in the crazy, creepy Mörk Borg world, the Bork Borg. Bork Borg. Let's see. Game Master's Apprentice. So 21 days, $8 gets you Game Master's Apprentice base deck. Includes the Alone solo game engine and the GMA Fantasy and Age of Sailors deck with solo role-playing in magical and maritime quests. And then if you up to $18.36, you get the 5 GM Apprentice themed decks: sci-fi, horror, weird horror, steampunk, and demon hunters. So for $18.36, you get 7 different decks that can be really fun for some solo play, and these are also great little things to build out other games within the same genre. let's see, Tiny Dungeon Mega. So 14 days left on this. $19.95. You get Tiny Dungeon Wastelands, Tiny Frontiers, Tiny Pirates, Tiny Gunslingers, Tiny Living Dead. And the Tiny Dungeon is a great little system. Then if you go up to $38.69, you get Tiny Spies, Gallant Universe Campaign Guide, the Tiny Supers expansion. You get Tiny Supers, Tiny Cthulhu, Mecha and Monsters Evolved, includes the novella Welcome to Paradise, Tiny Taverns and a la carte, and then Advanced Tiny Dungeon. The minimalist RPG gets complex. And if you want a rules light game, this is great. Tiny Dungeons are really cool. I've heard nothing but good stuff about it. I've gone through the base game book. I haven't played it yet, but it is based on the Tiny D6 rules. Then Mongoose. Let's see, this is 7 days left. So next Monday we'll be down to our last 30 minutes. So this is $10. I believe this is going to be all D20 stuff. So $10 gets you the classic play. So it's 8 source books. The Books of Adventuring, Dragons, Encounters, Hell, Immortals, The Plains, The Sea, and Strongholds. Over 2,000 pages of material for, what was it, $10. And then if you go up to $18.61, 3 expert players guides, the Renegade Wizard Spellbooks, Renegade Cleric's Tome, and Epic Monsters. The Sea of Blood, 3 guides, the Sea of Blood, Ship of War, Ships of Goblinoids, Goblin Ships. Monsters Encyclopedia, 2 volumes, Ravagers of Realm and Dark Bestiary, and 2 Infernal Handbooks, Fring and Zahak. So, yes, it is D20 based. So this is Mongoose. Mongoose has been putting out stuff for additional items for D&D for ages, and there's still tons of people out there that play D20. I mean, to be honest, it says here these are produced between 2001 and 2006. And, I mean, there's tons and tons of people that are still playing D&D 3.5, Pathfinder First Edition, and there's a lot of OSR stuff that is based within D20 rules that have just been modified. So all this stuff is absolutely playable with anything that is D20 based. And that is a ton of material for not very much money. So less than $19 gets you 2, 4, 8, 10, 18 different books that will make your D&D 3.5 Pathfinder First Edition and other OSR D20 based, because some of the OSR systems are very D20 focused. I mean, basic fantasy is starts with the D20 rules. Mongoose's Encyclopedia Arcane supplements are still good for Pathfinder First. Exactly, yeah. All this stuff will work in Pathfinder First Edition. So, well, I hope, thank you all for tuning in. That's the end of the news. We got some cool books in. We got a 3D printer, so we can start making little bitty things. I'm crazy excited to go through Labyrinth. I want some people in the library to learn Labyrinth. I mean, what book has dice built into it? And of course, I dropped the dice. I will get them after I go off air. Got Indiana Jones. We have a bunch of cool stuff lined up here in the future. Are we going to have a booth at Dragon Con this year? Dragon Con, you mean as in down in Atlanta Dragon Con? That happens to be on the Dragon Con is on the same weekend as PAX West, and we have to get more personnel to kind of split the library to go 2 different directions. Do I want to go to Dragon Con? Yes, because the last time I personally was at Dragon Con, Wizards of the Coast stirred up a giant S storm because they handed out a really subpar dragon to everybody. It was hilarious. The Nefertiti, I think it was Nefertiti dragon, and they handed it out at Dragon Con in '93. I think it was '93. It was either '93 or '94. I think it was '93. Maybe it was '94. Oh man, I don't remember now. But anyways, they handed out the Nefertiti dragon, silly little dragon with banding, and it was the only way to get it. And then everybody freaked out, like, "Well, what do you mean that's the only way to get it? I couldn't go to that event, and I just happened to have been there. We were down there for something else, and I went in and I was handed a card, and I was like, oh sweet. It's a horrible card. It's not a good dragon. It is funny because I do play it in my Commander Dragon deck because, well, I was able to get one, and I remember they put it out. I think they put it out with the books later on to appease everyone. Like, hey, here's a way to get that card if you couldn't go to Dragon Con. But we do want to go to Dragon Con. It is not in the cards at the moment. PAX West, again, on that same weekend, and PAX West is in our backyard. So we can get to PAX West with minimal cost. You know, it's cost of gas and parking and food for the weekend versus getting down to Atlanta from the Pacific Northwest. Getting the library down there is, library. And if I drive, it's the library, myself, and one other person. We're probably looking at $2,500 to $3,000 just to get there. And then we've got lodging once we get there, and we've got to get other GMs while we're there. But we do want to get there. We're in the works with trying to speak to some other people about how we can use them to get the library to other locations. And on that list is Dragon Con. So until next time, thank you all for tuning in. It has been lovely chatting with some of you, and I hope go out and get a game in with some friends. PAX. I haven't been to PAX South. The library hasn't been to PAX South either. We wanted to go to PAX South, but PAX South has been indefinitely on hiatus. So we've done PAX West, PAX Unplugged. We've done Gen Con. I think Gen Con's the furthest south we've gone. That's Indianapolis. We've done some stuff up in Canada as well. Reminds me, I got to send out some emails to follow up on those Canadian things. That's right. That's where. So thank you to Pulsar for following up on that one. The Nefertiti Dragon came out in Dragon Con '94. Everybody went bonkers because that was the only way to get it. And then it was bagged in with the Duelist issue number 3, which came out a few months later. They were like, okay, whoops, whoopsie, because they made everyone mad with it. So, okay, until next time, I hope everyone has fun. Get out and game with some friends, and make some stories, make some memories. And till next time, the library is now closed.